Hello and welcome to week 1 demo assignment of the course Machine Learning. So the first question is a medical company touts its new test for a certain genetic disorder. The false negative rate is small. If you have the disorder, the probability that the test returns positive results 0.999. So this probability is basically nothing but the probability that test result is being positive given that you have disorder. So this is basically nothing but t given d. The false positive rate is also small. If you do not have the disorder, then the probability that the test return being positive is given as 0.005. So this is nothing but probability of t given not d, and assume that 2% of the population has disorder. So the probability of person having disorder is 2%, that is 0.002. If 0.02 if a person chosen uniformly from the population is tested and the result comes back positive, what is the probability that the person has disorder? Okay, so this is nothing but probability of person having disorder given that the test result is positive. So here you can see that two main events are there. That is, the first event is probability of test coming positive, and another event is D, which is probability of person having disorder. So these are the main two events, and now we have been given a few probabilities, this one, and this one, and another one which can be found from this one. The first is 0.999. What is it? If you do have a disorder, that is, disorder is given and probability of test being positive. So the first probability that we have been given is probability of t given d, which is equals to 0.999. Okay, the second probability that we have been given is the false positive. That is, if you do not have the disorder, then the test return being positive. So probability of test coming positive given you do not have disorder, it is given as 0.005. Now one more probability is given, 2% of the population has disorder. So the probability of disorder is 0.02. Okay, and we can find one more probability using the same, that is, probability of person not having disorder is 1 minus p of d, which is equals to 0.98. Now we have to find what is the probability that the person has disorder. So the probability of person having disorder given that results comes positive. Okay, probability of disorder given test result is positive. Now this probability can be solved using Bayesian rules. That is, probability of d given t is equals to probability of t given d into probability of d divided by probability of t. Okay, now probability of t can be expanded as below. Probability of t given d into p of d plus probability of t given not d into p of not d, and the numerator remains the same. Now in this equation we have all the values available. Let's put it one by one. So probability of t given d is 0.999 0.999 and probability of D is given as 0.02. Again the same value, 0.999 into 0.02 plus T given not D is 0.005 into probability of not D is 0.98, and if you solve this out you will come out with value 0.803. So the answer is probability of D given T, that is probability of person having disorder given that the test result is positive, is 0.803. So this is question number 1. It's solved. Now question number 2 is, in an experiment n coins are tossed, okay, n coins are tossed with each one showing up head with probability P independently of the others, okay. Individually probability P is of having heads, okay. Each of the coins which shows up head is then tossed again, okay. Heads are again tossed. What is the probability of observing 5 heads in second round of tosses if we toss 15 coins in the first round and P is equals to 4? So we have been given few details, that is, first of all, n is 15, number of tosses is 15, probability P is equals to 0.4, and how many times do we have to repeat it? That is 2 times, and P is equals to 0.4. Now the given event is that once we tossed and afterwards the ones having heads we tossed them again. So this is nothing but the equivalent event is required event is equivalent to tossing 2 coins simultaneously. So this experiment is same as what we required. So the required probability is probability of 2 heads with P is equals to 0.4. Now we are doing it 2 times, hence our probability is equals to P square. Now the given probability is can be found out using binomial rule. The formula for binomial rule is probability of x is equals to r is equals to NCX into P square to the power r into 1 minus P square to the power n minus r. Here n is 15 and we want to solve for x is equals to 5, so 15C5, and now 0.4 to the power 2 and r value is again 2, and 1 minus 0.4 square into 15 minus 5. So it is 15C5 and 0.4 to the power 10 and 1 minus 0.4 square to the power 10, and if you solve it you will come up with 0.055. 0.055. So the answer is probability of x is equals to 5 is equals to 0.055. So that was it for question number 2. The question number 3 is, an airline knows that 5% of the people making reservation on a certain flight will not show up. Consecutively, the policy is to sell 52 tickets for a flight that can hold only 50 passengers. What is the probability that there will be seat available for every passenger who shows up? So the first of all, the event is probability of showing up, or sorry, passenger showing up, is equals to 0.95. okay, 95% of the time the passenger saves, and the probability of passenger not showing up is equals to 0.05. Now this can be taken as probability of success, that is P, and this can be taken as probability of failure, that is Q. Now we need to find out this probability, that is probability that there will be seat available for every passenger. So the probability that seat available to every passenger is equals to probability of number of showing up, number of passengers showing up today is less than or equal to 50, because we have 50 seats. So the number of passengers is less than or equal to 50, then they all will get the seats. Now this can be solved as 1 minus probability of number of passengers is equals to 51, or number of passengers is equals to 52. okay, so these two probabilities can be solved using binomial formula, where P is this and Q is this, so which is equal to 52, 51, and P is 0.95 to the power 51 and 0.05 to the power 1 minus 52, say 52, 0.95 to the power 52 and 0.05 to the power 0. And if you solve it out, then you will come up with a number that is 0.7405, which is given into the option as option number D. So this is the correct answer. Now question number 4 is, which of the following tasks can be best solved using clustering? The given options are predicting an amount of rainfall based on various cues, detecting fraud credit card transactions, and training a robot to solve a maze. Now The correct option is given as detecting fraud credit card transactions. This can be solved using clustering, and we have reasoning for that. But before that, let's discard this two. The option number C is training a robot to solve a maze. It is basically nothing but a reinforcement learning algorithm where we give rewards when the robot performs proper actions positively and negatively. The option number A is predicting the amount of rainfall based on the various clues. It is nothing but we need to take into x1, x2, x3 and we have to predict y. So it is nothing but a supervised learning algorithm or supervised learning technique, and this particular is detecting fraud credit card or not. So we have to check for each and every credit card either it is fraud or not fraud, and we can do this by solving a clustering. And let's see a detailed solution. We can think of the task of detecting fraud credit card transaction as essentially representing all the credit card transactions using some features and performing clustering. Okay, we will perform clustering based on some features, and majority of the one will be into a legal group, and some other group will find which is abnormal, okay, which does not derive to this common group, and this will indicate a fraud activity, and hence this problem can be solved using clustering techniques. Now question number 5 is, what would be the ideal complexity of the curve which can be used for separating the two classes shown in the image below? The given options are linear, quadratic and cubic, and quadratic is the correct options, because you can draw some parabola which is a quadratic equation, nothing like this. You can draw something like this which nearly isolates both green and red data points, whereas you cannot find a line which properly separates, or a cubic curve. So it's basically clear from the graphs itself. So that was it. Thank you everyone.